Hiya folks, how's all doing? Righto, this is a Hornby Britannia Class William Wordsworth that was sent to me by Duncan. He said that this runs, but if it's put under any load the motor spins and the wheels don't turn. He said he contacted Hornby and they suggested it's probably a split double gear under the worm, and gave him the replacement part number, but didn't clearly offer to repair it for him. Duncan took the body off, but decided against venturing any further and has come to me for help. So under power, yes, this does run nice and quietly and smoothly, but if I just block it, you can see the motor is turning and nothing is happening. So my first thought when Duncan described the problem was that this was probably the drive gear on the axle that was split, not the double gear, but I think that runs too smoothly for a split drive gear, so it may well be the double gear as Hornby suggests. Never come across that before though. Mind you, if it's the double gear that's a much easier fix, but then this isn't that older model and it's got all the fiddly piddly diddly nonsense that comes with it, so nothing is ever easy. Right, we'll get this into the shed and we'll see what the problem is. Righto, we'll open this up and see if we can see what the problem is. I think this is going to be fun and games because it's, yeah, this has got lots of little bits and pieces. It did have a speedometer, which I've already removed because it was detached at this end. It fits on with a little crank onto the wheel there, but this end was loose, so I've taken it off just now, but it'll fit in there somewhere. Maybe be a bit more obvious how that fits on once I get the body off. Right, okay, so the tender's connected. I think we can unplug that, like so. This is going to need a wee bit of work. There's a couple of pickups not touching properly. Needs a bit of a clean up. The pickups all look okay on this, thankfully. But we need to get into this and see what's going on with the gears. So, we've got a nice big screw at the front there. So we'll undo that and see what happens. That's that out now. There we go. It's just one of those models here, just terrified you're going to break something. There's these things here which are asking to be broken. So the fending gear will be down in there. I'll get a screwdriver down in there and undo that screw. It's a wee bit of a puzzle this. Let's get that plate off and can loosen the motor. Like that. There's another screw there. Undo that. Still doesn't want to come off. There's a screw underneath the chip there that I think if I get that out, it might just let this cover for the gears out. I would really like to get a look at the drive gear, because if the drive gear is split, then it'll be a case of replacing the wheel set probably. Let's see if we can get a look at it. Oh, it's one of those ones. Right, okay, I think the drive gear is okay. I can't get a proper look at it, but it appears to be okay. Let's put that back. Just going to move this blanking plate And we'll get this socket out. It gives me access to this screw. Is this going to come out? Yes, it is. Wires in the way. There we go. Come on, come on, out you come. There. And there's the double gear that I can now lift out. So, is this cracked? Oh yes, it is cracked. So I need to go online and get a replacement for this. And come back to this once I get that part. So, a couple of days later, we've got a nice shiny new replacement double gear. The old one has got a plastic washer there. This doesn't come with that, so we'll be sure to pop that on there. And we'll get this greased up and installed and get this back together, and hopefully it'll be fine. So, I'll get some PTFE grease on this. I think I'm just going to give that a wee scoosh out, just to get rid of the sticky old grease. I'm going to put a spot of oil down in that bearing and then pop this gear in. Maybe I'm going to give this worm gear a wee go with the manky brush. I'll get some more grease on that. So that'll go in there. Maybe give this a wee scoosh out as well. Right. There we go. That wire tucked there, that one tucked in there. I'll get this back plate on. Get that gear cover screwed down. Already put the other screw back. Get this socket screwed back down. Get the blanking plate back in. There we go. What am I doing? Let's see if this works first of all before anything else. Seems to go. A brand new gear. Maybe take a wee bit of running in. What am I doing? Right, I'm going to look at this tender because it's clearly got an issue with the pickups. The ones at the front there are not touching the wheels. These ones are okay. I don't think the ones at the back are touching either. Dear. Right, I've got 4 screws here that I think I need to undo. So I've undone 4 screws, but this still doesn't want to come out. There's little lugs and holes as well. Gee whiz, talk about overkill. This is just silly. Why is it so difficult to get a tender apart? Where do I get the top off? There's another 2 screws. That'll probably release the tender body. Right, I've just spotted this thing here is hiding a screw. a sneaky little fifth screw, 5 screws to hold in the underplate or keeper plate of a tender. That's madness. What are you thinking, Hornby? Right, okay, so now I've got access to the pickups, which are in a bit of a mess. They'll be bend out the way. Wheels aren't too dirty or anything. Right, so put this back on. Make sure all the pickups are in place. Why use 2 screws when 5 would do? Just nuts. Screw the body back on. Right, fit the body. I need to fit this speedometer because it's come off and it looks like it should. Which way round is it going to go? So it has to go on like that. I'm pretty sure it should just go in there. So spot of super glue required. Right, I'm going to give that a wee while to set. My tender body isn't on quite right. Sitting up at the front there. There we go. We'll pop this into the sponge. So I've got to link up the speedometer, but I've also got these things here, which appear to kind of fit into the body there and there. Blimey. Okay, so these are supposed to fit into there, and they're not. Get them the right way round, and then they'll go in. Honestly, what a faff and a fiddle. See if we can fit the body fixing screw, and hopefully it'll hold itself together. That looks okay, that looks okay. So I've got to connect up the speedometer thingy. Undo that. I think that's quite going on right. I still don't think this is right. There we go. At least these things kind of click into place. Right, okay. Let's connect up the tender and see if this thing goes okay. Alright, okie dokie. Put it on. Right, I think we're done. I hope we're done, because I really don't want to take that thing apart again. Let's go and pull it out of the shed. Okay then, let's bring out Willie Wordsworth. So that's this Britannia William Wordsworth fitted with its new double gear so it can pull a load again. It's a very nice looking model and it runs really well, but blimey, it's a right fiddle to work on. You know, I suppose you can't really have it both ways. Either the model is robust or it's super detailed, especially at this scale. You know, the larger the model, the more it can be detailed and robust, but at 4mm, you're going to have issues with fragile plastic parts if you want all the bells and whistles and other hoojamading-dong. Personally, I'd much rather have a robust model that doesn't break every time you pick it up, but there you go. It's still a really nice model regardless. Seems that the split double gear on these is a bit of a known issue from what I've read online, but it's the first time I've come across it. You know, it would and should be a very easy fix, but yeah, well, aye, Hornby thought otherwise. Righto, I shall get this packed up and sent back to Duncan, and we shall see what's next. Okay folks, catch yous later.